How's it going, everyone? The PlayStation Store is running its games under $20 sale for the rest of the week. We already looked at games under $10, under $5. Go check out those videos if you want some input on that. Want to do one final video taking a look at some of the games I didn't mention. Most of these are above $10. Some of them are even $19.99, but there is one game under $10 that we'll get to that I actually somehow missed in the under $10 video. But nonetheless, let's get right into it, and let's start things off with Tomb Raider Definitive Survivor Trilogy. This is 60% off for $19.99. Look, if you guys know me, you know how much I loved the Tomb Raider game since the 2013 reboot. I am not kidding. It has become one of my favorite franchises in all of gaming, and I wasn't a big Tomb Raider fan growing up. Like, I really didn't care for the games that much. However, Tomb Raider 2013 I thought was tremendous. Rise of the Tomb Raider was even better than that, and substantially better than Tomb Raider 2013. Shadow of the Tomb Raider, not as good as Rise of the Tomb Raider, but still very good, and you get the Definitive Edition with this collection, so you get all the DLC, which their DLC plan for Shadow of the Tomb Raider I think was a very big hindrance to the game, but nonetheless, now you're paying 20 bucks and you're getting all three games, and I think all three games are really good. So if you've never played the Tomb Raider title since the reboot, this is a fantastic collection to check out. Would highly recommend it. Alright, next up, Alan Wake Remastered. If you're a Plus subscriber, it's $16.49. If you're not a Plus subscriber, it's 40% off for $17.99. This released at $29.99. This is, of course, Alan Wake, done by Remedy, and you get the 2 DLC packs as well. Alan Wake is a game that I really enjoyed, and I played it initially when it came out on the Xbox 360 all the way back in 2010. This game didn't do that well from a commercial standpoint, unfortunately, because, you know, at the time, 8-hour game, $60, a lot of people were like, maybe not a game I want to pick up right away. However, the game turned out to be a really atmospheric, narrative-driven title. The gameplay wasn't blow away, but mechanically it was pretty interesting with the use of the flashlight and whatnot. Narratively, I thought the game was strong. I thought the soundtrack added a lot to the atmosphere, and Alan Wake 2 is scheduled for a release in 2023, so now wouldn't be a bad time to check out Alan Wake Remastered. $16.49 as a Plus subscriber, $17.99 if you're not. Next up, Mega Man Zero ZX Legacy Collection, 50% off for $14.99. What a value deal this is, given all the content that you get. With Zero ZX Legacy Collection, you get Mega Man 0, 1 through 4, Mega Man ZX, and ZX Advent. ZX and ZX Advent were Nintendo DS titles, while 0, 1 through 4 were Game Boy Advance titles. Obviously, these games aren't technical masterclasses by any stretch of the imagination, but if you're looking to play Mega Man, you're probably not looking for that. Mega Man 0, 1 through 4, while they are very much on the shorter side, they are all really good games and really challenging action platformers. ZX adds this Metroidvania layer to it, which some people really liked, other people not as much. I really liked it. I love ZX, loved ZX Advent. Would kill for them to do a third game, but I don't know if that's ever gonna happen. But this is a great collection. 15 bucks is just a steal for it. Next up, we have Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition, 84% off for $7.99. So this is the game under $10. Tales of Vesperia, one of my favorite JRPGs of all time. I think Tales of Arise, my 1-2 punch as far as my favorite Tales of games were Vesperia, as well as Tales of Abyss, which, by the way, Bandai Namco, Tales of Abyss, do you want to print money? Get us a remake of that. But nonetheless, as far as Vesperia goes, I thought it was a great game. I thought the cast of characters is the strongest part of this game. Yuri is one of the best JRPG main characters that you're gonna come across. He's just such a likable character, and yeah, he's fantastic. Rest of the cast is pretty cool as well. Gameplay is fine. It's your standard Tales of fare. Narratively, Save the World JRPG story, it's fairly good, but $8 I think is a really good buy for Tales of Vesperia, and a lot of content with this as well. Strong recommendation here for sure if you're a JRPG fan. Next up, Spyro Reignited Trilogy, 65% off for $13.99. Look, Spyro is going to be a franchise that I will forever remain nostalgic to. I think when I got my PlayStation 1, I got Mega Man X4 with it, and I got a Spyro game that I can't remember which one it was. I think it was Ripto's Rage. Nonetheless, I played all three back in the day, and then when the Reignited Trilogy came out, obviously this was going to be right up my alley, and these are phenomenal remakes of Spyro 1 through 3. They look great, they play great, they still hold up really well. And if you're just looking for action platformers, these are really good ones. A bit of a throwback, but also the visual update helps out a lot. $14, I think, for this is a great price. Very much recommended. And hopefully we get a new Spyro game sometime in the future, although now Activision is going to be owned by Microsoft, so that's going to be something to keep an eye on as far as how they utilize those IPs. Nonetheless, for now, Reignited Trilogy for $14, great price here. Next up, we have Odin Sphere Leifthrasir, 75% off for $14.99. Look, Vanillaware has become one of my favorite development studios recently. I did a second playthrough of 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim recently, and that game's just tremendous. Hopefully that goes on sale so I can, you know, sing that game's praises a little bit more. But nonetheless, Odin Sphere is a great game as well. This initially came out back in 2006 on the PlayStation 2, and it did fairly well on there. It became a greatest hits title, and now you have an upgraded version, and it still looks pretty good. Completely redrawn graphics and redesigned gameplay. It's a 2D action RPG that looks fantastic. You guys know the Vanillaware art style is kind of like timeless, so yeah, Odin Sphere 75% off for $15. Great deal here. Now let us get that Muramasa Demon Blade on PlayStation as well. They brought it on the PS Vita, let's get it on PlayStation 4. Alright, next up, pair of JRPGs. Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 1 and 2, $19.99 a pop. You gotta play these games sequentially, and how you even want to define sequentially is going to vary from person to person. I played Trails of Cold Steel, and I jumped into the other Cold Steel titles. A lot of people would recommend you to play the Legend of Heroes titles in a different order. I think you can get into Trails of Cold Steel, and I think you'll be fine. I think you'll enjoy it. That's the way I did it, and I had a great time. Like, I had Trails in the Sky on PSP way back in the day, and I did play it, but when I jumped into Trails of Cold Steel, I had no memory of that game because I was very young when I played Trails in the Sky. But nonetheless, Trails of Cold Steel I had a fantastic time with. Be warned that the first game is a lot of setting the table, introducing you to the characters, getting you attached to the characters, giving you backstory, but it really heats up in the second half of the game. And then once you get into Trails of Cold Steel 2, that game is just absolute bananas the whole way through. Like, Trails of Cold Steel 1 has a great ending to set up Trails of Cold Steel 2, and then Trails of Cold Steel 2 is just wild. And then once you get into 3 and 4, it gets even wilder. And obviously, we are getting the other Trails title coming later this year, so there's gonna be a lot of love for this franchise going forward, which is great to see. But Cold Steel is fantastic, $19.99 a pop for both games. Obviously, don't just jump into Cold Steel 2, absolutely don't do that, but Cold Steel 1 for $19.99 I think is a great buy, and a lengthy game as well. Like, if you're looking to do everything, you can spend, you know, 80 to 100 hours with Cold Steel easily. Next up, Diablo III Eternal Collection, 67% off for $19.79. Speaking of spending a lot of hours for gameplay, yeah, with Diablo III Eternal Collection, you can absolutely do that. I know everybody has their opinion on Blizzard right now, not everybody's favorite studio in the world, publisher, whatever you want to say, but Diablo 3 I thought was really good, and it's a game that, yes, it is a bit grindy, but it's also very enjoyable, and if you do want to play it more casually, you can do that. The single-player campaign is, like, fairly good, and narratively it's fine, and you'll have fun with it, even if you do play it solo. Like, I played it solo for quite a while, and I had an enjoyable experience out of it, and a lot of content for your money. Like, if you are trying to get the most out of buying a game, and you're trying to get the most out of Diablo 3, yeah, clear a few weekends, because you're gonna need that. But sub 20 bucks, I think that's a really good pickup. Next up, we have Judgment, 50% off for $19.99. Pretty good deal on Judgment. Would I like to see it a little bit cheaper? Sure. Now, be warned, Ryuga Gotoku Studio is putting all of the Yakuza titles on PlayStation Plus, so Judgment could be a game that follows. I don't know. If it does, you know, bear that in mind. But nonetheless, Judgment's a great game, and this is a game that, honestly, if you want to get into that studio's titles, the Yakuza games do show their age a little bit, and Judgment has English voiceovers. It still has that air of mystery, that beat-em-up action gameplay, a really good story. I think $19.99 for Judgment's a really solid pickup, and I would definitely give it a recommendation. And the PlayStation 4 version, time to time, does go on sale a little bit cheaper. It'll be like, you know, $15, $16, but, you know, if you have a PS5, why not get the PS5 version? Lastly, for final deals, these are all included with PlayStation Plus, so bear that in mind. We'll go through these quickly. Gravity Rush Remastered is 50% off for $14.99. Now, this is with Plus Premium. This is the Plus tier that a lot of people aren't going with right now because the Classics catalog, not the best right now. But Gravity Rush Remastered is still great. While I don't think it's as good as Gravity Rush 2, it's still a very good game. It was originally released on the PlayStation Vita, and how it utilized the Vita was pretty interesting. Makes a smooth transition to the PlayStation 4's DualShock 4 controls. You know, still holds up pretty well from a visual standpoint. Gameplay's solid. $15, not a bad deal. Okay, next up, this one's on Plus Extra. Pillars of Eternity Complete Edition is 75% off for $12.49. Great game. This is a game that I played the hell out of on PC. More of a PC-centric RPG for sure, but this is an RPG with a ton of replayability, a ton of content, solid gameplay, technically not a blowaway game, but narratively it is strong and the gameplay is pretty good as well. Really good writing as well, so $12.49 if you're looking for a quality RPG, not a bad one to check out. And then lastly, obviously, Assassin's Creed the Ezio Collection, 70% off for $11.99, available with Plus Extra. Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, and Assassin's Creed Revelations. People love it, the Ezio trilogy. You know, Assassin's Creed 2, probably my number 2 favorite in terms of Assassin's Creed games. I know everybody, or a lot of people do rank it number 1. I'm always gonna be a Black Flag kid at heart, so Black Flag is my game. Edward Kenway is my guy, but Ezio is pretty cool as well. Brotherhood is a great game also, a little bit on the easy side. Revelations, I was thinking Ezio was like, all right, yo, Ezio, you've been here 3 years straight, we don't need to see you anymore, but honestly, Revelations was pretty good. It was cool to see, you know, an older Ezio, and then the inclusion of Altair in there as well was an interesting twist. So yeah, $12 for the Ezio collection. I think that's a good deal, so definitely worthwhile to check that out as well. A lot of trophies to be had with this one as well if you're into that. But that is gonna do it for me. A lot of great deals available right now with the games under $20 sale. I would imagine a big sale is coming up, given that right now all we have is games under 20, and that's ending later this week. So yeah, be on the lookout for whatever new sale does start running. That's going to do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.